Finally. I'm Colion Noir.
And I'm Amy Robbins.
And this is Noir. Here in Gear Check, we set the tone for each episode. It's our spot in the show where we talk about guns the way we want. The stuff we dream about and kick around when we're at the range or just hanging out. Let me give you a little preview of what we're going to be talking about over our first few episodes. Next week, we're going to cover everything we wish the gun industry was doing, but isn't. Why the hell do I have to call up a guy to Cerakote my gun like I'm making some back alley drug deal? I can get on Nike.com right now and make a pair of shoes with more colors than the colors of Benetton ad. And how is it possible for me to walk out of a gun store with a $5,000 rifle in a cardboard box?
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Literally in a cardboard box.
Yeah, in a cardboard box. And it pissed me off, too, because it's like, I want a nice box. I don't want the Build-A-Bear beginning set of a homeless guy's apartment.
Well, I get Lululemon headbands in better packaging than that. Like, the packaging is so nice for my headband that I don't even throw it away.
You don't throw away the packages?
No, because it's like cute little bags, and they remind me to drink water every day.
Wow.
They have little sayings around the bottom of it. It's real, that's what I'm saying. They make it really cute, and this is what the gun industry is missing.
That is very Amy of you, but I get it.
Have you ever shopped at Lululemon?
Getting back to what I was saying, we're also going to talk about smart tech. And no, not that tactical chastity bracelet your boy Eric Holder wants to put on every gun owner like he's the czar of firearm virginity. Instead, we'll talk about how things like Google Glass make filming your next World Star moment that much cooler.
Do you actually think somebody in a World Star twerking video is wearing Google Glass?
It will be shortly.
Really?
Give it about the second or third generation, and I'm pretty sure
Can you show me how you would be able to twerk with Google Glass
working on the set. Then we'll get into fine watches, fast cars, and the finest guns. Technology at its most refined. A level of craftsmanship that takes decade upon decade to achieve. And we're gonna get to touch them. Well, I'll get to touch them. You guys can live vicariously. Well, unless you're Dan Bilzerian, then you'll just go and buy 5 of everything and give it to your pet goat.
First off, you have a love affair with Dan Bilzerian.
No,
we know that.
I have a love affair with the people who are surrounded.
Oh, in his pictures? In his pictures?
Now, I know we're on this New Kids on the Block, 21 Jump Street kick, but the gun world didn't come from nowhere. There's a heritage. A heritage that had a swag that would put most rappers to shame. There's no way you look at a photo of Hemingway hunting in Africa without thinking there's a reason the most interesting man in the world is pro-gun.
I mean, there's actually cool pro-gunners out there.
We're getting there. We're not quite there yet, and if you compare it to the other worlds, and that's another thing about, okay, like, I just hate the fact that there's this separation between the gun world and then other worlds. We're talking about the coolest item on the planet living in obscurity. It's ridiculous. Or how about this? What if the Tiger Woods and Roger Federers of the world gave up their boring sports and got into one that was actually cool?
Colion, do you think you're a celebrity?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought that's where you were going with that.
I am when I go to sleep, though.
Okay. How?
Think about that for a little bit.
No, I don't know if I want to.
And one last preview. For those of you among us, and you know who you are, who want to criticize but never invent, who always think small, who want to control their own little mini kingdoms, and in the process, hold 100 million gun owners back from the kind of public acknowledgement we deserve, well, we're coming for you. So get ready. Every time I go to the range, I can't wait to shoot that first mag. It's a mixture of stress-relieving, inspiring, motivating, and challenging fast-paced excitement, all contained in one 30-round magazine.
And that's exactly what we're gonna do now. So let's talk about the NRA annual meeting that we just got back from.
That was a blast.
It was really fun. What was your favorite part?
It was a love-hate relationship when I turned into a kissing baby politician.
No, you didn't kiss the baby, you held the baby.
And the only thing I could think about the entire time was like, do not drop this white baby. Do not drop this white baby, yes. I was like, because there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, no, there wouldn't have been. Well, I was really excited that there were a lot of women there at the annual meetings. They seem to be just all over the news now. Everyone's wanting to talk about it. Everyone's wanting to hit on it, especially Hillary Clinton. I mean, finally giving us her stance on guns.
Rein in what has become a almost article of faith that anybody can have a gun anywhere, anytime. And I don't believe that is in the best interests of the...
I have to say this because it's kind of been eating at me a little bit.
Yeah.
But of all the women on the planet, we get stuck with her as being the potential first female president of the United States.
Why does that bother you?
Because she's very uninspiring. And not to mention the fact that it's pretty blatant that Hillary is no longer sleeping with Bill Clinton. Because if she were, he would inform her that this whole gun issue thing and trying to walk this elusive line of gun control, but still for the Second Amendment rights, is probably not the smartest thing to do. Because we're not idiots and we're not falling for it.
And it's definitely not the smartest thing to do. Start going after gun-owning moms.
It's not.
Bad idea. Bad idea. Well, the next thing I want to talk about is that absolute tear-jerking MVP acceptance speech by Kevin Durant.
And last, my mom. We wasn't supposed to be here. You made us believe. You kept us off the street. You sacrificed for us. You the real MVP.
We both kind of shared a moment there when we were watching the video.
We definitely shared a moment. We definitely did, because I know for one, I can really relate to it, just because some of the situations were really similar and they hit really close to home.
Yeah?
At the same time, I thought it was really neat to see an NBA player, somebody in his position, to be able to be so humble about it.
Well, he brought some humility and some class back to the NBA, and I loved it. I thought it was awesome. So that was a good first mag.
Let's do it.
What we got next?
Anyone that has ever come to visit me knows that I keep guns around my apartment like they're pieces of decor. I use words like decor when I'm around Amy because it makes me feel special. But we at Noir kind of thought to ourselves, why isn't there a show that kind of presents the gun in people's homes the way, I don't know, they used to do with cribs? So we thought to do our own, called Gun Pads. And this is the first episode.
Okay, that was so much fun. What was your favorite part of the day?
The Christensen.
Which one?
The 308.
Oh, okay,
308.
because I'm
308.
thinking when I walked in there, you know me, I'm not spending all my time in the gun safes or anything. But I did the Christensen 1911.
That was sick too.
Caught my eye.
That was sick too, but that 308, it was just so light and it was just so sexy. It just did it for me. Now I just gotta figure out who or how much blood I need to give in order to pay for it.
In order to get one of the, I kind of thought that too about the 1911. But my favorite part.
Tell you what, if you buy my 308, I'll buy your 1911.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's about a $2,000 difference probably.
Oh, yeah, probably not gonna happen then. But no, you know what my favorite was? The airplanes. Why did you not go up in the airplanes?
Well, because I'm still trying to get used to flying on commercial flights. So the last thing I need to do right now is start going in planes that fly upside down.
Okay, it was so much fun though. Like, it is just the coolest feeling when they can take you up and fly back.
It was cool as hell.
Yeah.
It really was. The whole flying upside down, and that's just not.
It just didn't really do it for you?
Yeah, I'd rather enjoy it from the ground.
Did anything else stick out to you while you were looking around the house?
Okay, I'm a car guy and you know this. So when I saw the hangar, all I could think was how many cars could I fit in this hangar? Not that I could afford that many cars, but the thought did cross my mind.
Well, we did have a lot of fun, and this is just one of many more gun pads to come, so just keep looking out for them, and it's time for your monologue.
So we're here with Billy Johnson, the man himself. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. How you guys doing?
Good.
Pretty good. How's life as an NRA news commentator?
It's going well.
Yeah?
It's going well, you know, recording some new videos and trying to keep the Second Amendment fight alive out there.
Keep people honest.
Awesome.
Inform people of the facts.
Yes, you do.
So, speaking of facts, would you like to hear what was on my mind?
Oh, absolutely. Always.
Well, look, I'm all for self-confidence and all, but former New York City mayor and overcompensator-in-chief Mike Bloomberg's taking this whole God complex to new heights lately. He recently told a reporter, if there is a God, when I get to heaven, I'm not stopping to be interviewed. I'm heading straight in. I've earned my place in heaven. It's not even close. Keep in mind, we're talking about the same man who went on a crusade against the big gulp and tried to ban people from drinking large sodas. Is it me or is Mayor Bloomberg the lamest billionaire on the planet? He's the only billionaire who secretly wishes he was a grade school teacher, slapping sodas out of people's hands as he rides by on a Segway, yelling through a bullhorn, "Everyone turn in your guns!" If I was a billionaire, I'd be somewhere on Dan Bilzerian's boat trying to convince the beautifully tanned bombshell that I really do love her for her personality.
Okay, I love that you called him the world's lamest billionaire.
Well, think about
So
it.
true.
If I had $1 billion?
Well, I just heard what you were gonna do with that.
Okay, I was being a little facetious.
No, you
Maybe not.
weren't.
But
He has $30 billion.
that's the thing. Like,
Makes me
30
more lame.
billion.
Yeah,
And you want to regulate the size of Coke people are allowed to drink?
I know.
Come on, man.
Well,
Really?
and trans fat, right? There can't be any trans fat.
Right.
You can't smoke anywhere.
And
Right.
you know what? I'd be cool if, like, hey, I wanna put some of my money towards helping people eat healthier, or things a little bit more passive. But to take your entire life and revolve it around those things when you're a billionaire, I'm sorry.
But don't you have better things to do?
Well, he thinks it's the role of government to tell people
Sure.
those things. You know, he could go start a private organization and say, I'm going to do some education for children to teach them how to eat healthy. But he thinks the government should come in and actually tell you, no, you shouldn't do that, which is a completely different, you know, way of looking at the world. I mean, he's truly a statist, and he's a plutocrat, you know, someone who's gained their power through their wealth. And he truly feels like he knows what's best for you. You should live your life how he tells you.
But I'm just saying, if I had $1 billion, the last thing I'm worried about is the size of sodas that people can drink. Period.
The last thing you're worried about is probably telling anybody what they're supposed to do with their life in general.
And see, that's the problem. When you start stepping outside of that circle and start trying to tell me how to run my life on a day-to-day basis, that's when we start having issues.
Yep.
That's exactly when we start having issues.
Well, tell me what the rest of America can identify with someone who lives in a multi-million-dollar, you know, condo in New York that has 6 armed security guards, that has, you know, enough money to buy your own private island and do whatever you want. I mean, how can the average American relate to that?
We can't.
You can't. And nor can he relate to us.
Right.
No, exactly.
You can't.
It goes both ways.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, you guys, you definitely bring up some great points, and we've loved having you on the show.
Well, thanks.
So thank you
Thanks
so
for
much
having
for coming out. Yeah.
The Smith & Wesson M&P Shield is the Will Smith of the gun world. It's the gun even an anti-gunner can love. There's just something about it that just makes it so hard to dislike. It's the most politically correct gun on the planet. It carries less than 10 rounds, has a safety, a little hole on the top of the slide to let you know if it's loaded. And it's so small, I almost want to cradle it and speak to it in that stupid baby language that most adults revert to when they're handling a newborn. The M&P Shield effortlessly fits into your lifestyle without being overbearing. It's the gun for the person who doesn't want the gun to rule their life, but wants the ability to protect their life if they have to. Think Nate Robinson. Sure, he's small and unimposing, but the moment you drop your guard, he'll tear your ass up. That's the M&P Shield. It's small and not very intimidating. It doesn't even really have substantial recoil, but it shoots like a full-size gun and is just as accurate. It's a gun for someone who's self-assured and doesn't need a gun that will put Rambo to shame to feel capable. It's a gun for the city urbanite who makes frequent trips to the CVS at the bottom of his loft because he refuses to buy food from an actual grocery store. Or the 24-year-old bombshell whose idea of acceptable grocery store attire is a pair of yoga tights and a t-shirt. For the guy who's not really into guns but understands the importance of protecting yourself. It's one of the best concealed carry guns I've ever had the pleasure to carry.
Hey, You know what I've noticed with you?
What?
You get some really good questions on your Facebook, your Twitter, and your Instagram. Why so bad about answering them?
Are you stalking me online?
Yes. No, I'm not stalking you
So
online.
how do you know I get really great questions?
Because maybe I look occasionally.
Right.
All right. Well, anyways, that needs to change, and we're going to answer some of those right here and right now. First one. Hey, Colion, you seem obsessed with guns. Have you ever made love to one?
Is that a real question?
Yes. You're the only one that refers to your guns as sexy.
Yes. I mean, I made love while there was a gun in the room. Does that count?
Oh, goodness. All right. Where is the most exotic location that you've ever gone shooting?
It'd have to be where I shoot on a regular basis.
The tire place?
Yeah.
No, exotic, not craziest.
Depends on your definition of exotic, though. You say far out island in the middle of nowhere, that cliche bullshit. And I say shooting range surrounded by tires.
All right.
In the middle of nowhere.
All right, well, you did get the question, so.
I did. And I'm still convinced that that first question was you trolling me.
You'll never know.
I won't. Now, before we go, I want to talk about a new segment I want to add to the show called the Noir Spotify playlist. I'm a big fan of Spotify, and I'm a big fan of music. So I decided to incorporate a segment where each week I add a new song to the Spotify playlist. And this week, I decided to add a song from Kid Cudi's most recent album, Satellite Flight, Journey to Mother Moon, or as I call it, the longest album title in history.
Right.
I have played it so much, in fact, that you are now actually a big fan of it.
And I hate to admit that, but thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you again next week.
Take care.
Help me out on that.
Well, I mean, you kind of don't really know.